How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today on Sketchy Jeep, we're installing some side steps onto the Gladiator. So it comes with the brackets, it mounts to the pinch stem, and then it comes with some mounting plates and some hardware. So the first thing we're gonna do is get this hardware sorted. So let's do that. All right, so the hardware is now sorted, and let's go through these brackets. So there's gonna be 4 brackets. You're gonna have 3 different bolts. This one right here is going to be secured to this bracket right here, and this elongated section of the bracket is going to mount to this part of the bolt, and it's going to prevent it from moving when you're installing that nut. These longer bolts is going to be the ones attaching to the pinch seam of the vehicle itself, and the shorter bolt is going to be attaching to underneath the vehicle with these lock washers right here. And then you're going to have your nuts that's going to secure all of your bolts, and then you're going to have some washers for the spots that don't need lock washer. So the first thing I'm going to do right now is go ahead and start installing these brackets loosely on to the pinch seam section of the Gladiator. All right, so there's 2 different styles of brackets that comes with this kit, and you can see they're different. I'm sure they're different for the orientation on either the driver or the passenger side. So on both of these sections right here, this is where you mount it to the bottom of the vehicle, and you can see the elongated one on this side is running this way, and on this side is running that way. So they're different orientations. I contacted Iron Cross for information on what goes where because I didn't get any instructions. They didn't pick up the phone. and left them a message, but right now I'm trying to get this installed before going to work. So we're just going to send it and hope for the best. So right now what I'm doing before installing everything is I want to take a measurement to see how much clearance I'm losing when installing the steps. So I'm going to do from the bottom of the pinch seam to the ground. So right now we're at about 20.5 inches. And I also want to see how lower is the step for accessing the vehicle. So to get inside, clearing right here, we're looking at 26 inches to step onto the door seal. After we install it, we're going to see how much things have changed between clearance and how much lower I have to step, because when I go home, you know, my grandma, she got to get in the vehicle, see if I can stop carrying around that little step for both my mom and my grandma, and they'll be able to hop on these things. So let's go ahead and start installing these brackets now. So all of your hardware is either going to be 13 mil or 1/2 inch. Either works for the nuts and the bolts. So now I'm taking one of the bolts that has 8.8 on there with a lock washer. I'm going to put it right here, like so, and then loosely install it right here on the frame, not the frame, but the body of the vehicle. So initially I had this bracket going on the driver's side, but when I tightened that bolt, it was a little awkward, so I swapped out the brackets, and I have that bolt loosely installed with that lock washer, and the alignment for the 2 holes are a lot better. So this is the bracket I'm going to use for the driver's side. So now we're taking the longer bolts and a nut, and we're going to put it right here. Time to do that 3 more times. All right, so I went ahead and just installed 2 for now, front and the back one. And as far as hardware goes, I went ahead and put a washer, a flat washer, up top, because I felt like it gave it more grab in the surface. So bolt, lock washer, flat washer, and then longer bolts with washer, and then nuts on the back. So now I'm about to just do a dry fit of the side step. All right, so dry fit is on right now with just the 2 brackets. And one thing to note, this side step is straight, so it doesn't follow this curvature of the vehicle. So you're gonna see your hardware a little bit. And looking at it, I really don't have a problem with it too much. It doesn't look too bad. The thing that I thought I was gonna have an issue with was the fact that it doesn't run the full length of the pinch seam. There's gonna be a gap right here and a small little gap on the back as well. But again, stepping back and looking at it, it's not that big of a deal for me. I think it still looks good, and it hides majority of the pinch seam, and that's what I was worried about, and that's what I cared the most about. So we're going to continue with the install. I'm going to take it back off, throw on the other 2 brackets, and then put it back on there and tighten everything down. All right, so once you get the side steps sitting on the brackets, you're going to take these little flat sections right here, and you're going to orientate them just like this on the brackets. All right, so you want this pointy foot side facing outward. Again, no instructions. It's just from me dry fitting it. It seems like that's the way that makes more sense. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna take the bracket, put it between the channels, and rotate it like so. Then you're gonna take your hardware and just try to drop it in that channel. So that's what it's gonna look like. And everything is locked in into that channel using that type of bolt. I forgot what that bolt is called. And from here, just take your nuts and tighten it down. Then you do that 3 more times, and then that will finish up the install on one side. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, so I pretty much just wrapped up the driver's side. This is what it looks like. Pretty happy with it. Covered up the pinch seam relatively well. So now let's check those measurements that we did earlier, see what's changed. So now, definitely because of the bracket, it's going to be our lowest point. So now I'm at 19 inches at this point. And to get up to step under, we're at 22 inches. So definitely lost a little bit of clearance, but I don't think it's like really that drastic compared to some other side steps that are out there. Like the ones where you step on like so, where the step is right here. I didn't really want that type, so I'm happy with this. Got it for about 300 bucks, and the install went pretty smoothly. So the only thing left is to do it on the passenger side. So all right, so that wraps up the install of it. I think it looks really good. Hides the frame underneath the bottom, and it hides the pinch seam really well. If you're looking from a certain angle, you can definitely see some hardware, but it's not that bad. I'm good with it. And it could be longer, but again, I'm okay with it. For 300 bucks, it didn't turn out too bad. So now got a solid surface I can step on. Everything is tightened down. No instructions, but it was pretty straightforward once I figured out the bracket. As a matter of fact, when I was installing these brackets, I mixed them up. So I just have random brackets in random locations, and it still worked out fine. So I think everything is pretty good. It looks good. So again, thanks for watching. Leave your comments, subscribe, and y'all have a good one.